I am often asked how I produce these live streams with CueCam. I've got some background music, titles, a script in my teleprompter, and I've got some words on the screen, and so can you. Hey, this is Square's TV App Lab number 127, where I show you how to use the tools I've created to look better on video. I'm Michael Forrest, and I make Video Pencil, Shoot, and CueCam Presenter. It's just me designing, coding, making videos, live streaming, and talking to you. I'm a company of one single person. And I made these tools so I can concentrate on my job instead of editing videos all the time. This is all CueCam. This is all coming out of CueCam, including this crazy effect. There's no eCam, there's no OBS, there's no Keynote, there's no audio hijack, there's no audio loopback, and no NDI. It's all just coming out of my own app, Video Pencil and CueCam Presenter. So let's start with some updates. So Video Pencil just got a new release, and we are going to hazard a trip over to the Osmo and check. Yay, it's working. Okay, right. So what was I going to talk about? First thing is, when we do load in video, we've got the Shuttle Wheel, but it's now possible to minimize that again, bring that out. And if you're using Action Replay, if you hit replay, you can also sort of minimize the Shuttle Wheel there. The cool thing is here, you see it's the stream is still coming in, even though I'm looking at the replay, right? Because I'm also continuously tracking stuff. So if I'm watching a replay, well, let's say, so we did a replay. Oh, look at that. I held my hands in the air. Replay, right? And then someone goes, oh no, another goal has been scored. We can end this replay, start another one. And look, we got the goal that was scored. So you don't miss anything. So that's, I don't know why I kind of made it interrupt the recording. I didn't really need to. So that's good, isn't it? Hi, Lorenzo. How are you doing? The next thing is, I don't know if you're ever like drawing and you're sort of down like this, and then suddenly you kind of accidentally like move it. So, you can sort of accidentally like move. It's not as hard, you sort of move it and you didn't mean to, or you were sort of looking at a picture and you didn't mean to like move it, and you have to hit reset zoom, which you might not know to do. What I've done now is, if you zoom, whenever you do that, you see this little lock button appears, and it sort of disappears after a few seconds if you don't use it. But if you sort of do it, you can hit lock and you can hit reset, and now it won't like zoom. So that is just a way, just a little quality of life thing. Sometimes if you do just want to draw quite a detailed picture, I find it more when I'm trying to make a drawing, a detailed drawing that I'm then going to export as an animation, more than when I'm just like drawing over something in a live stream. So this is just a way of like, and you see it just like if it detects that you tried to zoom, then it will just show that it's locked, and that's your chance to unlock it, but it won't be sort of like there the whole time. So that I thought was a good solution. I have finally put the thing that gives it a better CueCam connection, so you should see it pretty consistently. If you look up at the top, shall we zoom right in with the Osmo? The icon for, I don't know if you can be able to see it, there's an icon here, you can see it's got the using the USB connection, so it's just going to be a lot more consistent about finding the best possible connection to CueCam now in a way that it wasn't before. Finally, so I'm just adjusting the camera. Finally, there was an option in NDI. So if you're you've got NDI output enabled, I had this include audio from videos, but it was marked as experimental because there was some basically I wasn't confident in it, and then it did. I was looking at the crashes from the App Store, and I was seeing it was crashing a lot. So I finally went into that and actually figured out what was going on. This was I love to talk about it. A case of I was like, AI, can you just help me figure out what's going on here? It was like, add this code, add more code, add more code, add more code, and then I was like, oh God, this isn't working. What am I doing? Okay. And so I deleted all the changes it was trying to get me to make. And then I just went, looked at it with everything I've learned in the last like 7 years of working on these video apps. And I just went, oh, you know what? I'm hopping to a different thread right when I'm supposed to be passing audio buffers around, which I'm getting away with until you stop sharing the video, and then it's like running out of things. So I just looked at it and went, oh yeah, well, we just don't do that. Delete a load of code, delete a load of weird stuff, just make it go as fast as it possibly can. On the direct audio processing line that I learned from doing the virtual mic in Video Pencil, in CueCam. And yeah, that sure enough, like that completely solved the problem. So I didn't. So it's just that it's very much. It's surprising how much stuff is at the limits of what AI can do. Literally, it was like just create another buffer and then copy on the CPU all of the audio samples and then send that across to another thread, and then that's. And I'm just like, no, just like don't ever hop to another thread, you idiot, and you'll be fine. Right. Anyway, weekly AI rant complete. I just wanted to show you. I've been tinkering with CueCam a little bit because making videos. I'm noticing things. One thing you might notice is my colors. I think might actually be right now. I think they might have been wrong for a very long time. Especially if you if I kind of it's basically all around the camera. So this is what my signal looks like coming out the camera, and then I've got this Canon camera on it, and you can sort of like fade that in to how much you want to sort of bring but it didn't ever seem to be really bringing the real colors back, and I thought I just had the wrong LUT algorithm, and it was one of these things that I got AI to help me with, and never was quite sure it was doing it because it was doing a lot of stuff by hand that I felt there must be a library for this, but I was just like, it seems to work, but it never quite worked. But what I realized, this is one example of, in the course of like me trying to go, what I was solving was, I don't know if you saw in some videos, like some crazy glitching around my hands when I was using the virtual chroma key. I was trying to figure that out. And then one of the changes that the sort of AI helped me like come in on, it kind of changed how it mixes the camera LUT, to not overlay it over the top with a transparency. Just like use a dissolve effect, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, that actually looks right now. Right. So just this side effect of some other stuff it was trying to do. So I actually did manage to. Of course, the solution it had for the glitchiness was trash, but I figured out how to solve it myself. But yeah, just some little kind of like artifact. I was like, oh, that's interesting how you're using core image. So yeah, that I think not only have we fixed. So this was like super glitchy when we were on picture in picture. I don't think I'm picture in picture in this one. But anyway, so the other thing I'm going to show you is I did some launch improvements to CueCam. So basically, this was super glitchy. I kind of want to show you. I think I am just going to quickly show you a video from the other day where you can see it, because it was sort of like not bad enough that not so terrible that it wasn't really a deal breaker. But it was just like, why is that just me, or is it like, is that for everyone? If I can see it happening here. Let me try another. Sorry, I'm just like looking for a recording where it's happening. Yeah, like it's not like here's. Oh yeah, I did it. It was on the video I did. Okay, so if I show you this one, right, see when I'm sort of like overlaid over the top here, like what's going on here? And what is going on? Like sometimes like down, like you can see like down there. You see in the corners, like whenever I do stuff, like what's all that like down there? So basically that is now much better, as you will see when we go to the next card, which is look, no glitches anymore like that. But this is how CueCam used to launch, which I was finding a bit annoying. Like what you see here is first it's like loading all the scripts, which you can see it's loaded all the scripts before it even starts loading the camera. And so sometimes if I just want to do a sneak, so we'll just show that. Sorry, it was like not quite in the screen. The way the windows were working made it harder to capture this, but you see it sort of like does the other stuff first, and then it was a bit glitchy on that launch thing. Sorry, there's so many of us. What I wanted it to do, like sometimes I wanted to jump off, like sometimes I wanted to like leave. I just, if something's gone a bit weird, I just want to quit CueCam and come back immediately without anyone noticing. But because of that like launch sequence being a bit slow, it just meant that it was a bit hard to do. But I just changed how the launch works. So now it's like this. So you click it and you see it immediately fires up the camera, and then it kind of like starts loading the documents, right? So this was just so you see, so it takes a little bit longer to get the documents up, but it means that your virtual camera is like up and running immediately, which I think is much more important. So yeah, quite excited about that. We're just like working through these little glitches. Meanwhile, I've been like hammering my. I mean, I really want to get some good text editing in CueCam 4. So you may have noticed that video that I just showed you was actually it's a Discord exclusive video about how the text editing is going to work. But I'm just having this really. I don't know if there's any like Swift developers around, but I might need a brainstorm off someone that's not an AI, because like this is this problem where the text from my renderer doesn't wrap inside this box, but the text from the text field, so it gets as far as there, and then it wraps on that is supposed to be there. But because it doesn't quite think it fits, it's wrapping it down to the next line, which then means that this is no longer like matched. So I have just been trying to get to the bottom of that. So there we go. Right, I'm actually quite excited about what I've got to show you today. I should probably have said that, because it's going to be quite a good demo today, because I did, oh God, it was hard, but like I just wanted to give you some graphics and sort of take you through how I do these streams. So I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more visual than usual. So I've been in Keynote, like right clicking on animations and like trying to get it to like do stuff, just so that I can bring in like an animation for you now. So let us jump into the main event, which is, how do we structure a show like this? So here's basically what I'm working with. This is what I'm going to show you. So this is like the run of a live stream, right? So we have a countdown timer, we have a cold open, title video, intro. So I can just show you like, so we're going to sort of like run through all of these steps. And I'm going to sort of show you all of this stuff that is involved in running this show with CueCam and how I specifically put it together. And also, I just want to say, yeah, hi Tony, if I haven't already. So I see that we've got Tony and Lorenzo at least. I see we've got a few people today. So we start off with a new CueCam doc. This is a CueCam document. This is my camera's switched off, so that's what you're going to see there. And we've got a cue card here. And this is how we start our live stream planning. So you see, it's not like I'm writing it in you could start it, you could like sketch it out. You should probably hand draw some stuff to figure out what you want to do. But I'm going to show you like how I do that structure that I've shown you in a CueCam script. So the first step is the countdown timer, which you saw a glimpse of earlier. So this is going to be a looping card before you're ready to start the presentation on the live stream. So you can just go live a few seconds earlier, a couple of minutes early, maybe put some background music. I'm not going to show you that for this one, but you could. So that's just like to make a countdown so that like everyone's like ready at the same time. So to make a countdown timer, we go to the doc tab up here. And click on that and scroll down to the bottom, and we've got this set start time option. Click on that, and basically the time that your stream is going to start, put that in here, and then when it's less than an hour away, the countdown timer will start when you sort of press play on your you sort of press play on your presentation. So you're not like having to calculate the thing. You just put it in the doc. Okay, this starts at 4. Also, if it's a weekly thing, you can save as, and then it's the same start time, so you don't have to like remember every time. You're not scheduling a date, you're scheduling a time, and it's very easy to go and change that, as you'll see in a moment. So next thing, I'm going to put a background on that because it sort of needs a little bit extra. So here's a picture I've got of Edinburgh. So I'm going to drag that in. It was quite a big picture, I think. I think that was why that was slow. But we can just set that, like the view style, to fit. Just to make that sort of fill the whole space. And you see here the countdown timer is on top of everything, kind of like counting down, and ignore that flashing. And then I've written intro, but that shouldn't say intro, that should say countdown. So the next thing we want to do is like a cold open, like I did. I said, hey, today we're talking about this. Hey, oh my God, there is a baby coming in. Oh me, oh me. Let me just say hi to everyone. Look, this baby is trying to get involved. Happy. Yeah, happy, happy. Okay, sorry. Okay. He just smashed down the door. Right. What was I doing? What was I saying? Okay, so next thing is, yeah, that cold open thing. So here we're just like adding a card. So I've just put just you and teleprompter up here. And then we can just say welcome to, in fact, I think it's today we're talking about whatever we're talking about, right? So you can sort of put that in there. Today we're talking about penguins. That's what I've decided when I was doing that. So I thought I'd stick a big title in here. So I put a little hash in front of there. That appears there. And then we can go up here and sort of click to make it, hey, penguins. We're talking about penguins today. So really quick to just put something up on the screen. And then I'm going to actually like go here and do Command Shift down to just split that off to the next card. And so that means I can say today we're talking about, and then press next at the same time as I say penguins, and everyone can be excited. So next I want to add some background music. So I've got my background music down here. So, wait, that's a picture. Yeah, it's down here. Cucumber playing loops, right? So I can just drag that into the card, and that then appears down here. So if we click on there, we can edit the settings. And so we can have that music loop just by clicking on loop here. And now that's just going to keep playing. It's not like attached to a scene. It will just keep playing, and you can run through what you're doing with the background music going. And then you're just going to like then you're going to have to like remember to make it stop. So that's what happens next. We go to our title video. So I've got my like jazzy little title, which probably, if I look at it, it doesn't make any sense, but like I'll show you how to do that. So we'll add a title video here. So here we can just take that from here, drag it into the card. You see that's now attached. And then what we want to do, because it's got music, I want to stop that intro loop. So we go up to more up here, and we select stop music. So we've got this tab selected, and now we've got a stop music action, and then we make that nice and short so that it just like fades down like really quickly while the music, and the music actually, like, it's quite good to have your intro kind of, mine has a little whoosh, like swish in, so it sort of like cross fades with the with the background loop fading out quite nicely. So that's something you can yeah, there's a tip for you. So next, sort of like onto the intro. So this, I'm just gonna like edit my script, like welcome to the show. This is what the show's about. I am gonna drop in some background music, set that to loop again. That's a slightly different track. So you'll have heard in my intro me doing that. And then like that's going to sort of keep going. So you see here, like the music keeps going until stop. So this we added the stop in this card to make this music stop. Now we've started some music on this card, and then actually we're going to make it stop. We're actually going to make it stop on this one, but you could make it stop on this one or this one, right? So we'll do the updates section of the show. So you put in the next card. You see we've got some nice keyboard indicators here. Right, so I add in a nice big card again, like I did with penguins, set the layout for that, and then add that stop music. And this time, because there's nothing else happening, we can just have quite a long fade on that music. It can just sort of fade down as we kind of come into the, the stuff we're going to talk about. And then we can just like add in some bullet points and stuff that we want to talk about one by one. Or you can put pictures, videos, whatever you want in here. I've just sort of like shown a few like cards with bullet points on. So that's these are my updates. Thing 1, thing 2, thing 3. And so next, after we've done our updates, we want to go into our feature presentation. So what we're actually going to do here is jump to a different script. So we were in this script, right? And then because this is all kind of boilerplatey stuff, that's actually the same every week, we're actually going to jump to a different script to the thing that is like unique about this stream. So this actually makes it easier to repurpose it as well. If you just wanted to do a video that of the same content that wasn't part of a live stream, that would be easy to do now because it's just in its own like separate, more manageable document. So we're going to jump into that other document. So first I'm going to like signpost that I'm moving over. So like, and now we're on to the main presentation. So I usually put something in there. And then we, sort of make a card that we're going to jump from. So now we're going to make a new document. So I did Command N there, and then just edit up a script, and that's going to have some stuff about penguins. We'll put some pictures of penguins or whatever, and then it's going to say, now that's everything you need to know about penguins. And then we'll save that script. And there we go. We've got the script saved. And now to jump to that script, we need to right click on that first card, and we're going to do copy deep link, which is down here. Okay. So, hey, Kalik, welcome. Yes. Okay. Right, yeah, happy to talk about your DAW. I sort of I tend to play it safe with Ableton and stuff. So yeah, happy to talk. Yeah, we can do that. So now you've copied that deep link to that first card, we can go back to our first script and add a little jump to dock action. So you see that's selected there. That's like down there. Jump to dock. So what that's going to let you now do is that's going to attach to this card, and you're going to be able to click on that down there and paste in the deep link. Ignore this. Ignore that stuff there. Not that stuff. Ignore that stuff. That's my dev version. So you just paste in that link, Command V, and there it is. And then you should also see like penguins is in there. That shows you that worked. And now we just I just like to put some notes in for myself. Okay, this is the one I'm jumping to, so I can see where I'm supposed to be going. I'll probably make that work a bit prettier in future. And then basically, I'm putting in another card afterwards, which is the one we come back to from. So once the other doc has finished, we come back to the next card after this one. So we jump out. We jump out here, and then we jump back to here. Right? That's how that works. And then finally, we've got our, end of show. Once we've come back from what we've shared there, it's just time to end the show. So we have our end of show call to action, which is basically, like and subscribe. So to see what that looks like, just it's easy to put that on screen, and then like you can put what you want to say. And the really handy thing about that is you can keep. You can repurpose again your script, so you're not forgetting all these kind of like admin formats. Because I always get like overexcited and then I forget to say anything about liking and subscribing or whatever. So if it's in my script and I just save as and I've got a link or whatever, then that's pretty easy to deal with. And so now you're ready to present or go live. So here I'm just going to scroll up to the top and press present. And so to see what you can see, but usually you'd use the main Windows streaming buttons to start. So we'd like go live with this. So here you see I've got my I've got loads of channels connected, so don't worry about that. But here you can see how we are going to select which channel we're streaming to, select the live stream, and then we can hit connect, and then we can hit go live. So that's a story for another day. I'm talking about how to actually run the show today. So first, when you press play, you're getting that countdown timer. Although the something's weird with the layout, so we can come out of that and just like tidy that up and then sort of run it again. I also so we can run that in. And that's going to have the timer on it. And then I think I'll turn on my video. So you see I'm pressing the arrow key to progress and showing each segment with just that one button, or you can use your Stream Deck. And I can read my notes down there or in the teleprompter. And you'll see some warnings here because the music's a bit loud, and I can sort of go and adjust that. And I could do that on the card really, but it will also adjust it. If you do it from here, it will go back to the card. You can see I'm sort of stepping through the show, and it's showing like, here we are on updates, and then sort of like running through the bullet points, and it's all just like one button that I've got to think about, and I'm just running through the show, and it's giving me all that production value, and I'm not actually having to like remember anything. I've done all my preparation. And then you see here it's jumped to the other script. So this is my penguin script. And then we go there, and then it's like, here's everything you know, and then we press next. It goes back to the original script, to the one that we left, and which is there, or it would have if I'd saved. You've got to save both scripts or it doesn't work. And then we come into like and subscribe. So that is all the everything you. Yeah, that's how the presentation works. So there you have it. Like that's how you create a run of show with CueCam, so that you're prepared, you know what you're going to say, you've got all this kind of like show format stuff set up, and then you can just like press the right. Do you know what? I've got the Stream Deck, but I just prefer pressing the arrow key. I say this all the time, but I just do. So now it's jumping back to the main script. So I've just done exactly the thing I just showed you how to do, and we are back in the main thing. So if you've got questions, now is the time. Now is your last chance for questions. Based on that, did that make sense? Did I go through too fast? Did I make too many assumptions? Have you learnt something that you never knew? If so, please let me know. I will pin your comment. And because I like to be grateful, even though it's been a relatively short session, because I'm grateful that you're watching, I'd like to do a little deal, 20% off your first payment with CueCam. If you want to give it a go based on what you've seen today, you can sort of like grab that with that code, cuecam.app/lab127, which is the number of this app lab. And then feel free to like and subscribe to this channel. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to be a YouTuber channel, but at least maybe it improves the chances of YouTube going, maybe someone else that likes these tags will like this channel one day. And maybe we do find the odd person that way. And of course, you can always find me on Discord. I'm usually available and my phone is buzzing and I'm pretty quick to respond. And let me see. So, how would you handle a situation that changed after a prepared show? Says Tony. So what you can do in CueCam, if we go into demo mode, are we in demo mode? I think so. My iPad is weird. So here's demo mode. So what you can do is when you're running a presentation, you can always just click here, show the sidebar, and just jump to any of these cards immediately, right? So you can always like jump around to a different point, and you can actually like edit stuff in here. So that's easy to handle, I would say. And then Calix says, grab it, guys. It's awesome. And I would pin that, but I still haven't quite figured out why the YouTube chat sort of like runs out of steam at a certain point in my overhead window. So thanks everyone for watching. See you on Discord. And yeah, thank you. Bye.